Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having an awesome day. Y'all, let's do some really fun holiday crafting. Stay tuned. So as some of you might know, we are doing a Christmas gift series. And the goal of that series is to create some Posh upscale crafts for $5 or less. And we're not just making any old craft. We are making crafts that people will actually want. And our goal is to make our crafts for $5 or less. And today's craft achieves just that. Look at how pretty this is. It's a slider box, and I used more of that beautiful wrapping paper. And here's the project that we're going to be making today, guys. The outside is just absolutely gorgeous. So off the bat, we achieved that upscale look just in how simply dressed this particular project is. But when you open it up, on the inside, we have tea light candles and some packets of tea. Now, this is such a soothing and relaxing little gift because you can put one of the tea lights in, make yourself a cup of tea, and just sit back, chill, and relax. And while you're chilling and relaxing, the person that you give this to can take a look at the beautiful gift that you created for them. Under $5, guys. As a matter of fact, this is another under $2 gift, but it looks very posh. It looks very upscale, and I think that anyone would be thrilled to have this. So, for those of you who are about to watch this video, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead, subscribe, because this is the place that you want to be. This is the place where we do projects like this. We take ordinary things and make them beautiful. And then we make sure that not only is it beautiful, but it's functional. So if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. So y'all, let's make this beautiful, beautiful gift. And here is what we're going to need. We're going to need a piece of acetate that measures 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. This is optional. We are going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 3 by 7. This is also optional. Here are the two things that you will need for this project. You will need a piece that measures 7 by 9 1/2, and then we will need a piece that measures 9 1/4 by 5 5/8, and that will be for the jacket of our project. So the first thing that we'll start with is our piece that measures 7 by 9 1/2, and we are going to score at 1 and at 2 on all 4 sides. And y'all are going to see just how easy peasy it is to make this stinking cute gift. So once we have all of our scores, we are going to fold and burnish both sides of this paper. Gorgeous, but I want this to be the outer look of my box. Okay, so once we have all of our scores folded and burnished, we are going to remove our 3 corner pieces. And remember, when we are removing pieces like this, the first thing that we want to do is we want to come over to where we have our main large panel here and just separate it from the 2 outer tabs. Then we are going to just angle in on that outer tab, and then we'll angle in here, and then we can remove that piece, and then we'll shorten this piece. So that is how we get rid of our 3 pieces. So we're going to go up to that second score mark, drag straight down just to free up this large panel here from these 2 smaller panels. Then we can angle in And we'll angle here, and then we'll reduce this. Very easy box making, but a very effective way to reinforce your box without adding chipboard or additional strips of paper. So we're going to do our last one. So I'll angle in there, and I'll angle here, trim that, trim that. And so now we have this. What I want to make sure is that all of my outer flap ends have a slight angle to them, because that just makes folding them in a little bit easier. So I am just taking off a small amount, and now you can see that all of my outer flaps have a slight angle. So now we can put this together. So we are going to take our glue, and I use Reptile. There is a link in the description box. And once I have my glue on my tab, I'm just going to join them together so that everything is nice and flush and even here. And you can just run your finger along to tell that it is. And if you feel anything hanging over, then you don't have your edges joined properly. So just run your fingers. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to take my glue, place my glue on these flaps, and then I will go inside, and then I'll just join these. So I'm making sure that my edges are nice and flush. And now I'll just go on the inside, and I'll do the same thing over here. And then once we have all of our tabs glued to the box, we are going to go ahead and place glue on these outer flaps. And then we'll fold these flaps in, and we'll have a nicely reinforced little box. Because sometimes when you're making little gifts like what we're making today, you don't necessarily need to add chipboard. And when you fold in that flap, just make sure you go along and you burnish it very well to make sure everything is stuck. All right, guys, so now that we have our box like this, we are going to bring in this piece that measures 7 by 3, and that is how we're going to get this separator piece that you can see right in there. Now, this is optional, like I said, because even if you put everything in without the separator piece, your candles and your tea packs would fit nicely. So we're going to take this piece, and it measures 3 by 7, and on the 7-inch side, we are going to score this at 3 1/8, at 3 7/8, and at 4 5/8. And then we're going to take it, and where we've got that center fold, we're just going to fold it just like that. And then we'll fold the other two pieces out. And now we can take this and place it in our box and see if we need to trim any of it off. And make sure you do this before you actually place glue, because you might need to trim a little bit. And I can actually see where I need to trim a little bit from the side here and from the bottom, because it's too wide and it's a little too long. So start out long, and then if you need to adjust it in the way that I'm about to do it. So I have folded this, and I am just going to take my finger blade and trim off a sliver. And now I'll take it and test it to see if it fits. It does fit this way, but now I need to remove just a little bit from this end. So like I said, Start out with a 3x7" piece, follow the measurements that I gave you, and then adjust it if you need to. So now this is going to fit. What I need to do is I need to take my glue, put it there in the middle, and close this. And then once we have it closed like this, I am going to take my glue and place glue on this. And I'll make sure that I get glue in that center part so that everything stays down. Now we can take our piece, put it in, and get it stuck. And this is just a cute little way, guys, of giving yourself a quick little separator box for your project. So now we're going to have this, and I am going to bring in my candles at this point. These are standard size, small tea light candles. It is not the ones that are double thickness. These are just the standard tea light candles. And I am going to put 8 candles in this box. And I got my candles from the Dollar Tree, and they have such a wonderful smell. And this is spice pumpkin. And so I should be able to easily fit 4 candles on each layer of this box. And those fit just nicely. And then I have some pumpkin spice tea that I bought from Tuesday Morning. This is a standard size tea packet. If your tea packet has a longer border on it, you can just fold the border back and place it in. But the measurements that I'm giving you are measurements that are designed to fit a tea packet that is approximately 2.5 inches tall by 2¼ inches wide. So we have got this part all done. So then I cut out a little piece of acetate, and this acetate measures 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. And I'm just going to sit that acetate on the top. You want to make sure that the acetate piece falls within the inside of your box. And so I can see that I need to nip off just a little bit. So I have trimmed it, and now I can set it to the side because it's good. All right, guys, so we are going to go ahead and make the jacket for our box, and we're going to bring in our piece that measures 9 1/4 by 5 5/8. On the 9 1/4 inch side, we're going to score at 3 1/8, at 4 1/8, at 7 1/4, and at 8 1/4. And those are all of our scores. All right, guys, so we are going to go ahead and fold and burnish all of our scores for this jacket. And again, I am using some of that beautiful wrapping paper, and all I did was layered it to a piece of the cardstock that I'm working with. And I used Elmer's spray adhesive to be able to lay down the paper to the cardstock. If you're going to be using this, please make sure that you use it outdoors, because it is not healthy to spray this indoors and breathe in those particles. So make sure that you are outside or in a very well ventilated area if you're going to be using this spray. So now that we have our box scored and folded, I am just going to bring in, and I always like to do this, I like to bring in my slider piece, and then I like to just do a test fit just to make sure that everything's going to be good. And I can see that I have a very good fit on this, so I am just going to take this. I am going to take my glue, place my glue on the narrow outer panel. Now I can take it, and we're just going to join these two panels together. So I'll use my bone folder to go on the inside and make sure that I have everything nice and stuck. Now I should be able to take my box and just slide it into the jacket. And what I want from my boxes when I make them is I want a snug fit, because I don't want that box, if you turn it this way or you turn it this way, I don't want that box sliding out on its own. So now that we have this part made, we are going to make just a very simple but cute little holder. All right, guys, so I have a scrap piece from my last project, and this measures about 1/4 by 3 inches. And all I'm doing is giving it a little curl, and then I'm going to take my ends and fold them just like that. And all I'm doing here is I am creating a little pull for the drawer. So now I'm going to just trim off a little bit of this, because I don't need all of that. Then I can take my glue, place my glue on the end piece. And now I'm just going to hold this. I'm going to take this, hold it. And you want to make sure that it's stuck, guys, before you start pulling that drawer in and out. But what I am going to do, I am going to take some of these very old gems that I have. And when I say old, these things are really old. And I am going to place them down and use them the way that I would use a brad. So I'm just putting them on here for decoration. And I'll take this one and we'll stick it there. And then we'll take this one and we'll stick it right there. And I'm just going to press down to make sure that I have a good stick. Now I'm going to take this, put my acetate back on the top, and then I'll place it back in the jacket. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to add just a little Christmas sentiment. And the sentiment that I'm using comes from an Anna Griffin card kit. You can go online and just search annagriffin.com to see all of the wonderful things that she makes for us to use. So I am just going to take my little bone folder, make sure I've got a nice stick on that. And now you're able to see that we have a really sweet little drawer box to go along with this one. They are so stinking cute, a little hard to hold in both hands. They are so stinking cute, so easy to make, and so economical. So I am not going to pull this one yet because my glue might not be completely set. So I am just going to open these up so that you guys can see just how awesome these are. I'm trying to position them so that my light won't catch them, but it seems to be catching anyway. So I'm going to leave them sitting here just like this so that y'all can see just how gorgeous these are and how easy they are to make, but how elegantly posh is this. This is a gift that I personally would be proud to receive or proud to give to anyone. No one has to know that it cost you less than $5 to make it, that it actually cost you less than $2 to make it. Nobody needs to know that, because it's the thought that went into making this. And just look at the presentation, because that says it all about the care and thought that you put into this special gift. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You guys, be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.